Yo, what's up? In this video I'm going to show you how you can use the new shake transition. So the new shake transition you will both get as a video transition and a generator's transition layer. I'll just start off by showing you the video transition and then I'll show you the generator's version on the transition layer. And you can check the timestamps down below if you want to skip directly to the transition layer. So these shake transitions are used a lot so now we can just grab the new shake transition here and then you can see we get this really clean shake. So these transitions here are used a lot by people who do different kinds of edits for TikTok or YouTube or whatever, but you can also use it in any type of other video because it's a really clean transition. So let's just take a look at it. This gives us a really nice shake transition. So as you can see, we got quite a few of options. The first one here is the overall strength, and the overall strength is just how strong all of these settings is. So if I drag this down, all of these settings here will be decreased. You can also decrease and increase them manually. So right now we only get a Y shake, but we can also do it so it's only a X shake, for example. Then we can also do a rotation shake if we want to, so we get this really nice rotation shake. I usually like to combine all of these to get a really clean transition. And let's say you want to change the X strength as well as the Y strength and make them the same. You just link X and Y and then they will be linked together, and then you'll just change all of the controls and the X and the Y strength will follow. Now let's say if you want to do them separately, you can just press an unlink again and then they'll be separate, which is quite cool. Then you can see we got a control for smoothness, and smoothness is basically just how smooth is the transition. So higher smoothness is more smooth. It will basically just make it more smooth, so it will make it slower and more controlled. And if you make the smoothness very low to 1, for example, it will be very fast and very jittery and not as controlled. So I like to do around 5. It gives me a pretty clean shake, but it really depends on what's the use cases. Then we can change the motion blur. So as you can see here, this is just simply the motion blur. So as you can see, if we don't use motion blur of these type of shakes, it looks really bad, but if we add it, it looks a lot better. So as you can see here, we got another button which is reseed, and this is just a button to change the shake itself. So let's say you're not really liking this shake here, you can simply press on reseed and it will make another type of shake, and then you can just press this until you find something you like. So as you can see, press it, it will change. So then you'll just go through it and until you find something you like. So this was pretty much how you can use the new shake transition with the video transition version. Now I'll show you how you can use the generators version. So you can just go into the generators and then we can see it says transition layers. Then we just grab the new shake transition and then just add it to the timeline. So you can see now it's a very long clip, way too long in my opinion. So I'll just drag it down to around 1 or 0.50. So probably something a little bit lower like this, and we get this really nice shake. And you can either use this as a transition as I usually do, but you can also use it as an impact if you have something that pops onto the screen or anything like that, or you're in the middle of a zoom. I don't really have any zooms right now, but you can use this on the zoom if you want to. You are zooming into the screen, and if you want to add a little bit of motion to the zoom in, you just need to decrease the strength probably if you do something like that. But right now I'm going to be focusing on how you can use it as a transition. So with this here, we have a transition here, and we'd like to find the middle of this clip and add the middle over this gap here where the transition is happening. So what we can do is just press on playhead to middle, and then it will just add the playhead to the middle of the clip and where the shake is the most. And then we can just highlight the clip like this, press on M to add a marker, press on this thing here to add the marker, and then just drag it over the clip like this here. So as you can see now, we get the shake right over the transition itself. And right now the transition is pretty hefty and pretty heavy. So as you can see, the first control is the overall strength. So if we think it's a little bit too heavy, you can of course just drag down the overall strength and it will be a little less heavy overall. So this is basically just a master control that controls all of these here. So I'll just drag it down like this. Then you can also change the Y X strength. So if you just want it to be a X shake, you can drag down the Y, and if you just want it to be a Y shake, you can do like this. I like to be both, and let's say I wanted to link these two good together, just press on link equals X and Y, and then you can change them together by changing the X strength here. And if you don't want them to be linked together anymore, you can just press press on unlink like that. Then we can see we have the rotation strength. So if we just drag all of these down, you can see we get this really nice rotation, and this is really what sells the shake itself, you can say, because if we do a shake without the rotation, you can see it looks a little bit unrealistic because it's just moving around, because when we have movement usually we'll also have some rotation on it, and if you see right after, when we get a little bit of the rotation, it'll look a lot better, and even with the zoom strength it will also help a little bit. So as you can see with the zoom, it's just giving this subtle zoom into it. It's really all of these things put together that gives a really nice shake. So the smoothness is basically just how smooth is the shake. If we drag this one up a lot, the shake would be really smooth, so it will go very slow and be really controlled if it's very low. On the other hand, it will be very fast and very jittery. So what I like to do is do something around 5. It will give us a nice and pretty fast shake, but it's not too fast and not too jittery. So I feel like this is pretty much the sweet spot. If we don't like this shake we get by default, where it's, you can see, slides a little bit to the side and then slides up and down, then you can just press reseat until you find a shake that you like. You can also, if you just wanted to shake in, for example, you can remove out, and we'll just do the in part of the shake, and then you can drag it over like this, for example, if you want the out part here, and then we'll just do the out part like that. So that's pretty cool. Then you can change the easing if you want to. So if we want it to be elastic, for example, haven't really tried that before, but you can do it. We'll also give this a really jittery kind of look, and you will also do back, for example. But what I like to do usually is just use the expo one. I think that gives the best result in my opinion, because the expo curve is basically just going slow in the beginning, then speeds up, and then it'll just mirror it out, so it'll go fast in the beginning and then slow down over time. This gives a really nice curve. So this was pretty much how we can use the new shake transitions. If you have any questions regarding them, you can drop them down below, and if you haven't already got the pack, you can check on the link down below as well. Thanks for watching and have a great day out there.